Right on. Hey, how everybody? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. I'm your host tonight again, Tony Renfro, and it's been a busy day today. It has been busy. And did you see the people at the polls today? Let me clean up this mess here. Did you see the people at the polls today? That's right. The polls was lined up from the door to the streets, down the streets. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're expecting. We're voting like we never voted before, and we are voting. And people, we want you to vote. Vote. Pick up 7 people and bring them with you. We have voted today, people. I'm telling you, I saw voting at the library on Fournette Road, the Johns Library, and it was packed. People consistently from 8 o'clock until closing at 5 o'clock, and people were still walking in, still were lining up to vote. And this is what we have to do. We vote. We want a change, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to keep the momentum going up. Even on the north side, it was packed. The north end, the north side on Lucas, it was loaded with people voting. There were people in the north that was voting. And I appreciate you guys having patience when you lined up there. You've been safeguard with your mask on. You're social distancing, and it was just awesome to see the sight at every polling location in the city of Beaumont and actually Jefferson County. I just got off a podcast with some candidates from the um, Port Arthur, and they're having a great turnout as well. And we've got to keep it up, people. We don't want to. We don't want a short version. We want everybody out at the poll voting and voting like we've never voted before, like our life depend on it. And we are voting. You know anybody that needs to go to the poll, need a ride? Hey, call us. We'll pick you up, take you to the poll, drop you off. If you need to go to the drop off, and there's only one ballot drop off box in the Jefferson County, and that's in front of the courthouse, and it's a drive through. So now let me remind you that if you're going to drop your mail off at a ballot, mail-in ballot at the courthouse, now remember there's only one drop per county. That was your jackleg governor of Texas put in law to stop us from voting, but he a damn lie. He's a damn lie. We're gonna vote. So when you take your ballot to the ballots, to drive-in ballot, drop in, make sure you have your ID with you. You cannot drop it off without the person that's who they mailed in for. So make sure you have your ID handy because they're going to ask you for that and then drop it. Make sure when you get your mail in, make sure you put your ballot in the envelope and put that envelope in that envelope that you're supposed to mail off. And make sure it is sealed tight before you drop it off in the mail. And also, I want you to make sure that if there's any writing on the ballot, give it back to the attendant that is there because it will not count. No writing shouldn't be on the ballot. So you see the writing on your ballot, and you give it back to them. Make sure that happens. They're trying everything they can to trick us from not voting. They're trying to trick us to not our vote not to count, but they're damn lie again because we're gonna vote. Damn it, we're gonna vote like we're gonna vote. Hey, hello, Terry Roy. Yes, thank you for stopping by. I see your comment. We got to keep this energy with local election coming up. Yeah, we got to keep this fire burning. And the polls would burn up. Did you see that today, LaDonna?
Oh, I did. I am super excited to report that all of the polls were packed to the max. I saw people wrapping around buildings, waiting in line. They had the umbrellas. I don't know if they got the memo, but they also had their lunches packed. They had all of their stuff together, and we turned out in record numbers today. I am happy and super excited to report that we superseded 08, 12, and 16 turnout numbers for the first day of early voting. We packed the house, all of us, everywhere, at every location. This was a huge deal. I am super excited that people were coming out in record numbers. And every car looked like they had more than one person. and people were like bringing people with them. It was a big deal. I'm so excited about what's happening locally. Like, we did our thing today, people. Like, we need to keep this same energy. We need to bring this all the way through to the end. We can't let up. We can't take our foot off their neck. We're applying pressure. Okay, that's what we're gonna do in the future, going forward, and henceforth and forevermore. We are applying pressure, baby. Pressure.
Go ahead on, girl. Go ahead on, girl.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm so excited. It was a big deal today. Today was a really big deal. If anybody got into their car and went around, Theodore Johns was packed. Elmo Willard was packed. Rogers was packed. Beaumont Municipal Courthouse was packed. I didn't get around to more than that, but the places were packed. It's early voting, October the 13th through the 30th. This first week is only 8 to 5. Next week, it'll be 7 to 7. We got to do this every day. I'm going to be reporting live from the polls. I made a post that let's go, let's get busy, let's hit it, let's hit the ground running. And I am pleased to report that we superseded 08, 12, and 16 turnout for early voting on the first day.
You mean we turned out more than Obama?
Oh, we turned out more than the Obama era today. We turned out today.
And what we're saying is that, you know, in 06 we only had 5,600 voted. 08. We had 5,600 voted in 08.
Oh, first day of early voting.
First day of voting. Okay, and the second and in 2012 we had 70 something. 72, right. 7,200 voted on the first day.
Right.
But today
we had 78.
Right.
But today we almost top 10,000 in one day.
One day. Hey, one day. And we're going to continue that. People,
I'm super excited because we're going to do this. Each one reaches 7. Today, I'm pleased to announce that I got 20 voters out, me by myself, baby. 20 pictures attached to my name that are people that I hand selected, called, and picked up. So we're trying to do 7. I don't want everybody to go and beyond. There's no reason to be a superhero. If each one can reach 7, that would be great. But myself, for today, I wanted to reach 20 people. And my objective is really to meet 20 persons a day at the polls. This is going to get me up to 200. I want to be at 200 before this is over. I want to be able to report on November 3rd, whenever election day is, that LaDonna Sherwood have been responsible for 200 voters getting to the polls. If I can do 20 people a day, then I can do 200 voters. And it's not a big task.
Vote. We're doing it, baby. We're doing it. Baby, I'm excited because I've been waiting on this since 2000.
I've been waiting too. I can't tell them enough.
We
if
voting.
You like me, you want to be with me. You think I'm hip. You think I'm cool. You want to be a part of the in crowd. Meet me at the polls, okay?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now. You want to wear meet me at the poll.
Right.
Yeah, meet me at the poll. Listen, we want to thank everybody that's getting out there and pushing everybody to vote. Yes. And we want to make sure that we are helping our neighbors to go out and vote.
If you need a ride, remember you told them, Tony, if they need a ride, they can hit us up. We'll come and pick you up.
We got a fleet.
We'll come and get you. We will come and pick you up.
We got a fleet of vehicles that are ready for you.
We will come and pick you up. It don't matter where you at, what side of town you on. We want you to vote.
Yeah. And if you have neighbors that need to ride to the poll, or you maybe not be speaking to them, take them to the poll, please, baby. We got to make a change. It's going to be a change. And also locally, we have to vote. We've got to vote for our local candidates. And Levant, our guest is not here yet, so we're going to continue until she arrives. And our guest should be, what is our guest tonight is
BIGUITA Hernandez.
Hernandez Smith.
With Love Thy Neighbor.
Love Thy Neighbor. Founder of Love Thy Neighbor. She should be on pretty soon. So with that was said, Yes, I see it, Deborah. Yes, love. We were excited. I'm gonna talk to y'all tonight because while our guests wait on our guests come on. Yeah, Deborah Jones is saying she's excited about the people turnout. The turnout was whoop 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 whoop. Yeah, we kicking some asses here tonight, today at the polls. And listen, we need those numbers because the more numbers we have at the polls, the better our chances our candidates win.
And if I could just add, you know, the orange agent in the White House, he already said that he's not going to go peacefully. So the only way to ensure is to beat them by a landslide. We got to go above and beyond. We can't leave a stone unturned. We need everybody from 108 to 8. Okay, everybody reach somebody. We need you. Bring them up to the polls. We need everybody.
For everybody to vote, and we're gonna vote. God damn me, we voting. Hey, listen, and let's see. I don't have anything done. This happened the last time. Not sure. I'm talking.
That's okay. I'm super excited to also report that guess what? Me and Tony, we're going to be at the polls, whether it's he or I, locally every day. We're volunteering. You can meet us there so you won't have to feel like you're alone. I'm passing out sample ballots that are giving you information about what candidates that we feel like are the most, relevant to our local elections. Here's another thing that we have going on. People are showing up just to support you. If you have a disability or if you just need some camaraderie or, whatever you may need to get you in the building, we got your back. We're here for you. We're super excited.
Yeah. Keep them going. I'm trying to get
We are super excited. I had a lady today. She showed up to the polls and she said, Miss LaDonna, I can't stand up very long. Do y'all have something that can help me? I said, we absolutely do. We absolutely do. If you can't stand up long, if you have a disability, if you have other problems, they will come out and allow you to vote from your car, or they will let you skip the line, whatever the case may need to be. We're prepared to make sure that your vote counts. You may get in the line and you may say, I don't know who to vote for. I really didn't study the candidates. I'm really not knowledgeable about what's happening. We have a candidate slate card. We have a sample ballot that's been pre-filled. It's been highlighted. We are making it as simple and plain as possible as we can do. Make sure you show up with your mask. Be masked. Be ready to social distance. We have your back. We have got to vote like our life depends on it. We got to vote like we never voted before. This is a pivotal election, okay? Let's be clear. 198 judges have been selected by Donald Trump that do not reflect your values or your interests. That if we do not straighten out, those people are going to have years upon years upon years to make decisions and decide on your behalf in the courts. And we're not going to have a say. This is our time to stand up and say no more. We're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to accept this. This is unacceptable. We don't accept this as a norm. We're not going to accept this as a society. We want to rebel against this. We want to stand up. We want to say something about it. This is where you do that at. If you're not going to stand up, if you're not going to be accountable, if you're not, you know what? I had a young man tell me, well, he wasn't young. He was actually an older man, but he said, I haven't voted since, I don't know, in the 90s. He was like, politics has deterred me. I don't like any of the candidates. I don't really feel like voting is a big deal. Why would I even get involved? And I told him, I said, if you're happy with the COVID response from your federal government, then you can just keep doing what you're doing. But if you know somebody that have been affected by COVID, that have been affected by the coronavirus, and you're unhappy about the information that's been disseminated to us from the White House, then this is your chance to get that straight, because everybody knows somebody that has been affected by COVID-19. Everybody knows somebody that have either died or been hospitalized or been sick, who may be a long hauler, who may be recovering for the virus. Well, guess what Donald Trump is saying? It's going to disappear. or I have the antidote. I got cured in 3 days and I'm this and I'm that. But guess what? Most of the fact of the matter is, most of us don't have access to the same healthcare that he does. Most of us don't have access to the same antidote that he does. Most of us are not going to get to go to the same hospitals that he does. Most of us are not going to have the same protections or liabilities that he does. What is coming down to, this coronavirus is not just affecting us physically and mentally. It's affecting us financially and economically. It's causing businesses to close. It's causing education to be deterred. It's causing students to be at home and mentally distressed, and parents and grandparents. It's tearing families apart. It's killing people. You can't tell me that you're pleased with the COVID response from your commander-in-chief. I refuse to believe that. And if you are happy and pleased with the COVID response from your commander-in-chief, we need to take your temperature. We need to get you checked out because something is clearly wrong with you.
That's right. God damn it, you heard her, huh? You heard her what she said. Hey, Miss Roberts says that Biden fans are voting early. Yes, we are voting early.
We all voting early.
Trump fans would come out closer to the day. I don't give a damn when they come out. We're going to continue to vote. And we're going to vote, Miss Roberts. We're going to vote them out. We're going to vote them out.
We're going to vote them out.
They can line up 400 cars for a parade. Those cars.
Everybody needs to bring somebody. Right. Don't go alone.
That's right. Let's see what we got here, Miss Corona. David Douglas said, what about the young adults?
Wait
a minute. Let's read it. Let's see it. Okay. Let's start right there. Go ahead. What about the
young adults?
Okay.
What is being done locally to encourage them to get to the polls? Just asking what can be done. Thanks. Let me tell you what we're doing with the young people. We are mobilizing young people in Jefferson County and Harrison County. We have the stroll to the polls. We have the voting kickback. In Harris County, Sylvester Turner has extended voting for 24 hours in 9 polling locations. I have a friend of mine, DeAndre, who is sponsoring kickbacks. So the young people ain't going to the polls till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Harris County because they feel like the older persons are going to vote during the day and they're going to vote during the night. So the older people can take the day shift and the younger people are going to take the night shift. Let me tell you, I think that is an innovative thought because a lot of young people are midnight ramblers and they carry on their business at night. They live a vampire life, and I'm here for that. I'm here to support this group, and I'm so excited that they have this 24-hour voting locations in Harris County. I wish we would do something similar in Jefferson County. But what we have here locally in Jefferson County is you have young persons like myself and Albert Turner and Marinette Parkinson. We're all in that younger age group. And what we're doing is encouraging young people to show out in droves. It don't matter if we got to go together, if we got to pick you up, if you at Lamar, if you're at Lamar Port Arthur, Lamar Orange, if you need a ride, we're here for you. You can hit this podcast. You can hit me up. You can hit AJ up. You can hit BIGUITA up at Love Thy Neighbor. You can hit a bunch of us up. Brandon Johnson, we're all here to represent that younger demographic and let them know that you are not alone, that we see you, that we hear you, that we feel you. Lamar Beaumont has a 7-day program that they're doing. They're doing a different event every day. I should have sent it to Tony. That they're doing to register to vote. I know that Texas Southern University today, they pulled out the band and the cheerleaders and the football players and the homecoming queens, and they marched down to the polls. So this is what young people are doing. We had a young people group that came from Harris County that were Beaumont natives. They rode their bicycles 100 miles to prove that they were serious about voting. We took pictures with them. That's my friend Israel. I can't think of his name, but he has a group and they're with Rockstar energy drinks and Life Water. They have endorsements and they're riding their bicycles 100 miles to prove that they're serious about voting. Young people, I'm talking about under the age of 40. And young people under the age of 40, like myself, let me say this. I can't express to you enough how serious I think it is as a young parent and an entrepreneur and just a local citizen of Beaumont, I'm very invested in what happens in the future in the community and making sure that we get young people out to vote, going to the housing complexes, presenting on social media, making sure that people know when to vote and where to vote and who to vote for, making sure that we get those sample ballots out. Young people locally are also being energized by the NAACP. The NAACP has a group that's, I think, from 12 to 18 or 12 to 25, I forget, but they have events that they're creating locally to get out the young vote, to make sure that young people feel welcome and, that we're going to build rapport with them to make sure that they get out in the community and know that their vote counts. I hope that answered your question. If I did cover it, send me a little message, hit me a text or whatever. We'll get somebody together.
All right. Hey, listen, everybody. We are here to help, and we are here to promote, and we are here to encourage you to stay positive. We want you to vote. We want to continue to push our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones out to the polls. And we're going to be polling, and we're going to be doing this, I'm telling you, all the way to the every day. And we're going to be out live. I'm going to be out live tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday and Friday, and we're going to be at the polls live with my new cameras and my new equipment. We're going to interview you, talk to you. We're going to encourage you to bring your popsicles if your mouth is dry to make sure you can handle it. Hey, we got a good cool front coming in on this weekend, so it's going to be real nice, around 55, 59 degrees. So people, let's vote. And again, if you need a ride to the poll, hey, let's do it. Deborah Jones said you can hit me at the Blue Table Talk and get that done. All right. Okay, great. Now, let's see here. Now,
let me tell you one more thing. In the face of any obstacle, adversity, whatever may come your way, whether your lights are on, whether you're displaced from the storm, call us. Hit somebody up. We want to get you to the polls. Don't let no adversity or obstacle stop you. Our ancestors didn't let it stop them. Don't let it stop you. Listen, I know that we're facing a hurricane, a pandemic. We're under stress. People have lost their jobs. Everything is going haywire. Your kids are at home. School is out. Your bills may be due. But this is your time to shine. We need you at the polls.
That's right. Analysis Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating the Southeast Texas African American community with valuable info on health, education, local politics, business, and personal financing. Hey, I want to say thank you for the viewers that we have, and our viewership is growing and growing. Not only are we visible in Jefferson County in Southeast Texas, but we've got viewers all in East Texas and Baytown and Houston, Liberty, Waywood. Hey guys, thank you. And Liberty. Hello, everybody. We thank you for joining us. We are having a good time right here in Southeast Texas. We call it Jefferson County, and we are voting. And I hope you all voted. And if you have a video and you'd like to share with me on the show in your city or how the voting's going on, please share it with me and let us see what you're doing so we can know and see what you guys are doing all over Texas. Now, we got our guest. Our guest is here. Let's see if we can bring our guest. She is the founder of Love Thy Neighbor. And let me bring our guest on, BIGUITA HERNANDEZ Smith. Hello, B.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you real good, girl. You on a Knowledge Power, baby. You on the KIP.
That's
the
what
KIP
I'm talking
with
about.
the PIE. Yeah, we kicking it here. And I'd like to say something to our other visitors. That must say I'm waving out our visitors. I'm looking down at before we get started here. Emmanuel Hollywood Kelly and Ron DeFondo has joined us tonight. Janie Darden Rogers joined us. Willie Harris in Houston is here, and Ivan Leroy Smith out of Georgia. Bonnie Brown, hey, out of Seattle, Washington on the West Coast. And Milton Chatham and Robin Haynes right out of Houston. We've got more, and I'm going to say hello to all those who's watching. BIGUITA is the founder of Love Thy Neighbor, and you are doing a fantastic job, young lady. here
Thank you.
in Beaumont and Southeast Texas, and you tell us a little bit of, first of all, tell us a little bit about Love Thy Neighbor, and then I know you guys have done some work and some charity work out of in Orange and Lake
Mhm.
Charles, if I'm not mistaken. So tell us a little bit about, again. You've been on the show before. That was back in August when you first kicked it off. So what is going on now?
But first off, let me just say that I don't want to take the hype away from voting.
Oh
So
yeah,
let me just put in a plug to voting. So I voted today. My husband Jason voted today. And it was just a great feeling. Like everybody was out there. People are taking this seriously. Like we couldn't believe it. It's the first day of early voting. You know, there's 3 weeks and then there's 4 weeks to election day. And everybody was out there. The vibe was just so positive. People the world is shifting and people do want to contribute to making a change. So I am very proud. Got out there, voted. I was on a high for like an hour after that. It was just such a good feeling. And just to see everybody out there, saw Marinette Parkinson out there, took some pictures with her. So let's just pray on our community, right? Like, of course, we live in the United States of America. There needs to be major change, but we all start with our community, the place that we reside in, the place that we lay our heads, the place that we raise our children, the place that we eat, the place that we go to church. It's very, very important. And I'm asking God in this season to really place the right leadership in its position. You know, we constantly, from a spiritual perspective, we constantly fight. We know we fight the battle of good and evil every day, but it's about that time that the good get on top so that we can start doing the work the way we need to do the work. So just want to say that I don't want to take any hype away from voting. Voting is necessary. We need to continue encouraging people and motivating people.
yes we
Now,
do.
as far as love thy neighbor is concerned, I mean, guys, this has been, and I don't even want to say a year because I don't know if it's about the year. I really think it's about the season, right? So this has been some season. We got wildfires in California. We have a pandemic. We have an economy that's really dwindling. We have small businesses that put their heart and soul in their businesses that are losing their businesses. I mean, this is time for us to really be awoke. We have hurricanes that happen. So, it's leaders like us, strong people like us who can juggle a whole bunch of things. It's important that we contribute um, our talents and contribute our compassion to all of, as much as we can, to all of these things. So with Love Thy Neighbor, we initially responded as a response to Hurricane Laura. So the whole idea and the whole purpose was that Beaumont was blessed, and so we said, okay, we're in the city of Beaumont. We weren't touched by Hurricane Laura. We need to equip ourselves, get out there and touch and support and feed and do whatever we need to do to help our neighbors. And so that was the premise of Love Thy Neighbor. We went out to Orange. Guys, you guys know, but the guys out there don't know. So we went out to Orange, right? And social media is so powerful. And we said, and really, there's many organizations that give. There's many organizations that, supply. But we got on social media and we said, guys, we are your neighbor. We love you. We want to love on you. We want to pray with you. We want to just be there for you. And, we had a whole crew come out, probably about 25 people. And when we got to our site in Orange, we could not get through the streets. We could not get through the streets. We had to get escorted. Our cars had to get escorted to the streets because there was so many people that came out. And like I said, there's many churches and organizations and people doing things. But when you touch people in their heart, when people know that you're there for them, you're really invested in them, that's a whole nother level. So we did that in Orange. We did the same in Lake Charles. Lake Charles, the church failed to, I can't remember the church's exact name, but there's a ministry there. It's a command center. And guys, Lake Charles, I mean, when we went out there about 2 weeks ago, and there was no one in Lake Charles. Lake Charles residents, the majority of their residents did not return to the city. And now they get hit by Hurricane Delta. So that's the work that we're doing. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? It's more of, we are a volunteer team and we are either going to directly support whatever need needs to be met, And or there's many organizations, and we'll latch onto those organizations. But when we do that, so for instance, if we're going on another church's behalf, if we're going on another organization's behalf to help an area, we're going to wear our Love Thy Neighbor shirts because we want those people to feel it. This is just not a robotic go through the motions. We're here for you. This is, we deeply care about you, and we want to make sure that you're going to get to a better place.
Oh.
I said a whole bunch of stuff. You guys have any questions?
No, we some talkative people, and my co-host, she's a motor mouth machine. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I welcome her all the time because she compliments me, and I compliment her because I can go 3-4 different ways. I can do a lot of talking. I can do a lot of clowning. I mean, I can do a lot of lot of work, a lot of talk, but a lot of thinking. But I appreciate you guys what you're doing and love that neighbor because you are doing a fantastic job in helping the neighbors, our neighbors next door to us in different cities and different towns that need the help right now. And
Yeah,
right
so
now,
let me say this.
I was just about to say, it's not just about a next door neighbor thing. Love Thy Neighbor actually has events that they're hosting here locally for us now that we've been affected by Delta. And I'd like you to go ahead and go into some of that. I was telling Tony that we're working on something that we can do locally to help our local affected elderly and indigent people that may need help.
That's right. So LaDonna was exactly right. Like, how could we be strong to help our neighbors when we can't be strong, right?
for
I'm
ourselves,
trying to
right
think
here.
of the I'm trying to think of the
This
message.
charity
Like, you
begins
got
at
to take care
home.
of home before you can take care of your
Charity begins at home. That's what the Bible
Charity
says.
begins
And
at
then
home.
it spreads abroad.
That's right. And even when you're on an airplane, right, it says, like, if you're getting into, if you think you're crashing, make sure you take care of yourself before you're able to take care of others. Well, that same principle holds. Now we get the honor to take care of our own backyard, which is Beaumont, right? So we know that there's people who've been reaching out and asking for help in their yard. So what we're doing is this week, we are trying to assess the need. Now, we want to obviously, we want to deliver efficiently, right? So we can't do everything and anything, right? So we decided to focus on a number. So what we'll do is we'll do from 3 to 5 yards in Beaumont and Port Arthur, 3 to 5 yards in Port Arthur. So we're right now assessing those needs. Who needs those help? Who needs that kind of help? What kind of tools can we gather to be able to go out there? And what we're planning to do, the Love Thy Neighbor crew is going out on Saturday from 9 to 12 to be able to help, like I said, at least total about 8 people with their yards, cutting down trees, cleaning up, just trying to make it better for them.
And I think that's super exciting. I think that that's great to not only be able to help other places, but to come in and kind of assess the situation locally where we know there are a lot of down power lines, there are a lot of down trees. It's not necessarily that we got hit by the storm the way that other areas got hit by the storm, but we just want to show local support and care for our people, for our neighborhood, for our community where things are not quite right, because we know that I have several workers. I own a company, of course, and they're like, Miss LaDonna, my power's still out. Or Miss LaDonna, my neighbors, they got trees still on the road. Or Miss LaDonna, so what we're wanting to do with the Love Thy Neighbor, and I'm a part of that group too, mind you. I'm not just with Knowledge is Power podcast, but I'm a part of that Love Thy Neighbor group. We want to make sure that we're showing love and enthusiasm and care and support for our local people and what they're going through and maybe experiencing. And if you know somebody that's elderly or indigent, you have this podcast and they really, really need the help, and they really, really need somebody to get that stuff off their yard and their house, and they really can't do it, and the energy company really won't help them. Put that in the notes. Put that in the comments. Let us know where we're needed most, because we haven't really made a plan as far as where we're going to go, but we're coming. Believe me, we got your back. We got your front and your back if you need it, and we're coming. Send us some pictures. Send us a comment. Let us know where we're most useful at, so that love thy neighbor as a group, we can get together and be there for where we need it the most. That's what we really, really want to do. We want to show love. We want to show compassion. We want to let the
Yeah.
community know how much we care and that we're invested no matter what the obstacle or challenge may be, no matter what's being said or what's being dished out or what may come our way, we got. We got our own back. We ain't waiting for nobody else to come. We gonna get some chainsaws and a group of people together. We coming to straighten out your yard, your house, help you get your power back on track if you need some toiletry items or whatever. We coming.
That's right. In the midst of everything that we're doing, we are coming. We are dedicated.
Great, great. Now, we are, I'm disappointed that I've been around town. We've been passing out water, cases of water, and we actually want to know what happened to the city of Beaumont. I mean, why are they are not present? Where's the presence of, because we've got people still out of electricity, power, and been out for since last Thursday. So where are the people, the folks that let's say solicit us during the time to vote, but you're not here for us when we need you? So I'm just gonna throw that prick at you right quick. But thank you again. I thought love thy neighbor because you're doing some things that we need more of us to do and more of us to join to do to help not just our neighbors but ourselves here. Because even though the storm didn't hit us, it came very close. Very close.
Yeah,
And
it came very
so,
close. I mean, I can't speak for, and what I can say is that I truly believe there's a lot going on, and energy. I see energy trucks all over. So I think these guys are coming out and they're doing their best. I mean, we were without electricity for 3 days. We got it back on Sunday, which, I didn't expect. I thought it was going to be a business day that we would get it back. So I think they're trying their best. I just think that we are getting caught off guard, like as a country, as the world, like all these things are coming at us and we're
yeah,
trying our best to keep it up.
yeah. I always say this: the world.
I personally would say, I mean, I have posted and said thank you, Entergy, thank you all the contractors that work with Entergy to try to get us up as soon as possible. We don't know what the damage was, so we don't
Right.
know what kind of in-depth work is needed to be done in certain areas of Beaumont to get them up.
Yes. So, like LaDonna and Bigatti,
No, it's Begita. Begita.
Tony,
Bigetta
Tony,
said,
B, Tony,
I always
Tony,
say B. So I always
B.
call you B.
That's
So
it, B.
that's it. I can't get all them names straight right.
Just say Begita.
B. Bigetta.
Begita.
But listen, now you threw my train of thought of what I was gonna say. I'm just out of front, man. I had something very important I wanted to say, and you cut me off and you messed me up and turned me. So anyway, knowledge is power. That's power with knowledge. You got to have a little knowledge to have power. So, guys, I appreciate the work that you're doing. Along with, I guess you're working with the NAACP as well, and you are doing a wonderful job. And what are your plans going forward now?
Our plans, love thy neighbor.
Yes, going forward.
So this is the thing, right? Like, it's morphing into something bigger than I ever imagined. The next thing, and we'll talk about this in depth. I hope I'm invited to another show. I want to
Uh,
be able to talk and have those really difficult conversations, right? There's many different perspectives in our country, in our community, and it's important that we're able to listen. So Love Thy Neighbor is about to launch, and we were going to launch it this week, but then the hurricane happened. Another arm of the initiative, which is called Gaining Perspective for a Unified Community. And this is where we come to the table, right? Similar to, red table talk. We come to the table and we have different views and different perspectives and people representing those, and we have conversations around it, right? And it's not to say that we're going to agree, because there's many times where we walk away where we don't agree. But the problem is that we don't take the time to listen. Because if we take the time to listen, we can possibly get an understanding, or we can possibly salvage a relationship. But all we need to do is sit at that other end of the table and just listen and give that respect. And I want to have those conversations. I want to have it around um, ethnicity. I want to have it around, uh, I want to get deep with this. I want to have it around political views. I want to have, and not just political views, Democratic versus Republican, more of what are the certain beliefs that you have within those parties. And let's talk about why we are not on the same page.
Right. Classism,
Yes.
religion,
Yes.
Racism, sexism, different things that we really need to address so that if we as a people can either come together or agree to disagree, but at least we got that understanding, knowledge, and we got a launch pad where we can work from. Because right now we don't even have that conversation where we need a springboard that we can spring off of to launch some of those elevated conversations that we can't even have because we so busy in the muck and the mire and down in the dirt that we can't even address
you know what I'm saying? Like, people get caught up in the ego, right? And get offended. It's not about that. It's like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Why do you believe what you believe? I'll tell you what I believe. How do we get to some type of common ground? Because you can't build relationships with offending people, right? It's not that. You have to give the ultimate respect. I don't care how much you are against their views and beliefs. We have to sit down and give that respect. Be a sounding board and listen. And I think that that'll take us a long way. So I'm ready. I'm not a beat around the bush type of gal. You guys know I'm from New York City, so I'm super direct. And I want to have those conversations. It's time. It's time.
I just love the way you talk. And I like when you say, I want to have those conversations. Like, that shit makes me excited because it gives me a little bit of something that we don't get down here in the South. And I talk with a little Southern drawl, so I know everything is y'all and ERs at the end and all of this. And I love listening to you talk. So even just the different perspective from somebody coming from a different place, you bring something different to Jefferson County than what we have currently and the way our minds work versus the way a New Yorker's minds work.
Yeah,
and that's something that we can.
Guess what? I thank you for that compliment, but you bring something to me that I never had either. And it's just the warmness, the embracing, the time that you guys take to really connect. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with everything very fast paced. You understand? Like, this community is still successful in the way they do business, but they don't do business like New York. You know what? It's slower. We enjoy our time. We take lunch. We take the time to connect and meet with people. So just as much as I can bring something great to the table, you guys bring something wonderful to the table for me and my family and our quality of life.
See, that y'all goes a long way.
A long way.
So
guys, the only thing I'll say is that I have to be mindful, and I know that you will respect this. I have been out of my house literally all day, so I must return to the home and be the mother and wife that I am. I'm going to have to step out. But what I will say to all of the viewers is that if you can identify, so two things, identify certain topics that you want to hear about from different perspectives, because we want to be able to give you in this new round of Love Thy Neighbor, we want to be able to give you what you want to hear. So if you can identify those topics, and also, as we spoke about before, if there is a yard, if you have a yard, if you have a neighbor's yard that needs cleaning up, post in the comments so that we can connect with you and arrange to come and help you out this weekend.
Did you hear that, audience? That if you have something to do, please make your sign in the comment box, and Love Thy Neighbor and her group will come in and see about helping you guys out. Okay, even cutting trees and whatever.
Listen, I never
whatever
used
it takes,
Facebook,
and also that's going to be a couple of food drives this weekend. So I need to get in contact with those people so we can get that exposure, so you know what's going on and where that location going to be as well. But I will be out with water again tomorrow for those who are needing water at your homes, or those who are needing that does not have power yet. Please, guys, that's just helping in with everybody. Thank you, B, for joining us tonight on a short notice.
Love you guys so much. Thank you for having me. And we're gonna do this, right?
Yeah,
It's
we're
time
gonna
to
do
do.
that. We're
We're gonna
gonna
do
do
that.
Girl,
that.
we got your front and your back. Don't
Yeah.
even worry
Yes,
about
we go.
Love you so
Hey,
much.
so we're
I'll
gonna
talk
get
to you
back.
guys soon.
All right, then. God bless you. Talk to you
All
later.
right. God bless you guys too. Bye bye. Have
All
a good
right.
night.
Good night. All right. Now back to the last half of the show, and last part of the show. And this is good to have people like B, who not from here, that just jumped in here with both feet and just took off. And this is what we need. We need more like that. We need more like that. Well, I think I've got enough said. I've said enough for the evening. I've been on 2 podcasts tonight, and it's time for me to get me some shut eyes. I can sleep better with my eyes closed.
Well, I'm excited about that. So you get some rest, and I'm gonna see you
Hey,
guys bright and
but
early
again,
at the
I'll see
polls.
you at the morning. We're gonna see you at the polls. We're gonna
I
be
was
at
just
the
about to
polls.
say, I'm gonna see y'all bright and early at the polls. I don't care about
Hey,
none of that. I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead.
yeah,
We
listen,
gonna get out there and get it going.
go to the
Okay, that's
polls,
what I'm
baby.
trying
Hey,
to do.
we're going to the poll. Now we want to break a record for the second day. All right, we did almost 10,000 people today. 10,000 people voted today, right here in Beaumont. So let's see if we can break that record tomorrow. We're going to keep it going. We got to keep it going. We want to stomp the Trump.
We cannot drop the ball on this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your time to shine. I don't care what your social economic background is. I don't care if you're 18 to 80, 88, 98, 108. We want to see you at the polls. We need you down there. And this is your time to let your voice be heard. And I got your back. We don't care if you need a ride. We don't care if you lost your job. We don't care if your power's out. We don't care about none of that. We need you down at the polls.
Let's vote.
Okay? That's
That's
my
right.
biggest thing. We need you at the polls. I need to see you there. Meet me there, beat me there.
Yes. So see you tomorrow, everybody. We're going to be live tomorrow. We're going to be live Thursday. If you see me, raise your hand. Hey, I watched your show. Let us know that you're involved with us, and we're going to come in and interview and talk to you and put you on the podcast. And we're gonna shake and bake with you, and we're gonna just be excited. But we're gonna vote the Trump out. We voting. But listen, also remember, we got to vote local. When you take that poll, take it from the top all the way down to the bottom, all the way through. All right. God bless. Take care. I love you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.